Hi everyone, this is Bitupan. Welcome to Mindful Talks. Today I am with Neelam Kumar, who is a life coach, a motivational speaker, and author of 10 best selling books. With three close encounters with death, she quickly realized that there were other women inside her, all demanding creative expressions. You will get to know her story of near death experiences in this talk. Among her 10 best selling books, the ones that have caught public attention are Our Favorite Indian Stories by Kushwant Singh and Neelam Kumar, To Cancer with Love, My Journey of Joy, I Am Sea of Possibilities, a personal growth coloring workbook, To Cancer with Love, a graphic novel. And the foreword of this book is by two legends, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan and Mr. Ratan Tata. And her book Healed, How Cancer Gave Me a New Life, which was by Manisha Koirala with Neelam Kumar. This book is about the cancer survival story of Manisha Koirala. Her most recent book is I Am Invincible, which is about 13 true stories of courage, grit, and survival. We will talk about this book in this conversation. Neelam Kumar has masters in journalism from the US. She earlier worked as DGM Corporate Affairs in India's largest steel company. She has won prestigious awards and continues to be featured in magazines and newspapers. She is a beacon of positivity herself and encourages people to become the light of hope, courage, and joy. She calls herself a thriver and a sunshine maker. Let's get some dose of positivity from her. I'm excited to talk to her. Let's get started. All right, Neelam ma'am, thank you so much for joining. I'm very glad to have you on my show. How are you, ma'am?
Very honored to be on your show. Was planning to come here, so we are finally here. Thank you for inviting me.
It's my honor, ma'am, that I'm talking to best-selling author of not one or two, but 10 books. Wow! And today we are going to talk about your most recent book, which I can see behind, which is the I Am Invincible, right? Uh, before we go and talk about your books, I just wanted to know your story, ma'am. You had three close encounters with death, right? And I have mentioned that in the introduction also. But can you give some more details about what exactly happened? What was that?
So, Bitupan, Death and I have been playing hide and seek for a long time.
Oh my God.
So the first time I met Death was when I was struck by cancer. I was in my 30s, early 30s.
Oh.
And yeah, I was a naive young girl. And I must admit, I slipped into the victim mode instead of the victor mode. And I was
Hmm.
in a constantly why me mode. The next time I was struck by cancer was 17 years later, but this time I was a life traveled veteran. And
Oh.
I had strengthened my inner core um, with, you know, um, with very strong spirituality, Nichiren Buddhism, which says that I can conquer anything, any challenge that comes to me with the strength of the chanting. So I
Wow.
tried that. I chanted my way out of this illness, but I also realized that this second time was my chance to understand what my mission in life was. Why was I
Hmm.
getting this? And that is when I looked around, being a reader, writer. I found no happy books on cancer. They were all doomsday predictions, the best classics. They were all Tuesdays with Maury, Grit and Grace, the last lecture. They all predict, the protagonist dies. Now, I had made the decision to live. So that is when I wrote my own book to follow my own life script. It was called To Cancer with Love, My Journey of Joy. And that became India's first joyous book on cancer. And all I had to do was just follow, my own life script. And I was so happy to see that so many people, adversity fighters around the world, were benefiting from it. And I said, now I found my life mission.
Hmm.
Therefore, the second cancer was really a very important one. The third time I met death was very recently, and that was meningitis. It was a deadly attack of meningitis. I was wheelchair bound. I was in the ICU for several months. But
Wow.
strange thing happened, Bitupan, because when I was looking down at my uh, lifeless body, I was in another realm. I was looking down. Somewhere I could hear doctors saying, "We are losing her, and even if we revive her, she will not be able to use her limbs or her brain or the use of her brain."
My
And
God.
from another realm, Bitupan, I started chanting at the back of my mind, and I said, "Hello, wait, my mission is not yet over." And here I am, many months later, and wiser because of these three close encounters with death, knowing now that my mission is to write joyful, inspirational books. I think I embrace a life so hard that its dark twin death loses out.
My God, you were in wheelchair. That was just recently, right? I mean, how long was that?
So I came out from the hospital. I think they were quite sick of having me there. So it was about 7 months back. And so I used to go to the hospital for my checkups and all that on a
Uh,
wheelchair. But I'm perfectly all right now because there were so many prayers from unknown people who just melted out of Bombay. They came into the ICU corridor and they melted into Bombay. I'll never be able to see them again. But
hmm.
immense gratitude to all those who chanted Namyo Horenge Kyo for me. It's a
Oh,
beautiful experience.
right, ma'am. And Steve Jobs said that, we cannot connect the dots looking forward. We can actually
Mhm.
connect the dots only by looking backward. So I think when you
Absolutely.
look today backwards, uh, every good thing or every bad thing that happened to us, both are equally important to, make us who we are today, right? So we should be grateful for both. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love life so much. And I'm
Hmm.
so grateful for these death encounters. It has polished me to become the person I am today.
Wow,
Very
that's so nice, ma'am. So let's talk about the book, ma'am. 13 Invincible. I am Invincible, and the 13
good.
stories in that. So yeah. So what made you write this book? I mean, what is so different among these 13 people that you have decided to write?
The name of the book is I'm Invincible 13 True Tales
Hmm.
of Courage, Grit, and Survival.
Hmm.
This book continues my mission of writing books that inspire, motivate, and change lives. So I
Hmm.
celebrate life all the time, and I want people to understand there's no greater treasure than life itself.
Right.
So, this particular book is my gift to my readers to dispel some of the grimness of the pandemic and shine some sunshine, joy, positivity into our lives. So, the book is all about the power, the incredible, limitless power of the human spirit, which we
Hmm.
need to be reminded of every day.
Hmm. Right.
So, this book is actually, I have picked up some incredible stories. So there are stories like there's a young gang raped woman who has now gone on to become a huge celebrity and a huge achiever in life. And then there
Hmm.
is this gentleman who, after he lost both his legs to double amputation, decided to climb Mount Everest. He's from New Zealand, but he came to India with
Wow.
no legs to climb Mount Everest. And then there is another gentleman who, after 10 heart attacks and heart and kidney transplant, continues to travel the world solo, so joyfully.
Wow.
So I, want that when people read the stories of these 13 incredible everyday heroes ordinary people who have done extraordinary things, they will
Hmm.
say, if they can do it, so can I.
Of course.
So
Hmm.
it is, I hope people pick up this book to understand that everyone can do it. Usually, when you tell your mind, more often than not, the body complies.
Wow, that's a nice one. Hmm. And just by listening to what you said just now, that one
Yeah.
person without legs, he has climbed the mountains, right? That's such an incredible thing. And then my next question would be, I want to know, there must be something common between these people, like some life skills, or maybe some patterns common among these people, because you have studied them, you know their story. So did you find something common? What are the top two three common things among them?
You know, Bitupan, have I pronounced it correctly? Bitupan.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Bitupan, the reality of our brief, fleeting, bitter, but beautiful life is that we are all in a cascading fall towards the inevitable end, death.
Hmm.
But when we actually come face to face, how we react as human beings define us as human beings.
Hmm.
Some people give up, others give in, but not these 13 heroes, warriors. When their tears became acid washed, when their everyday joys disappeared, that's when they decided to tap the limitless power, to summon the power of their human spirit, and to fight the adversity with all their human might.
Hmm.
And guess what? They all triumphed. All of them have now built lives so much more inspirational and beautiful than the one they had inherited. Therefore, what is common among all these warriors is that they are invincible. They did
Wow.
not give up until they triumphed.
Hmm. That's nice, actually. Yeah, they're invincible, right? And so, ma'am, you have clients from all over the world. You have spoken to so many different clients from different countries. So, I want to know, ma'am, what are some common life problems that these clients come and approach you with? I just want to know what are some issues that mostly common among people.
So, you'll be surprised to know that regardless of our skin color, our nationality, our gender, our status,
Hmm.
we humans have the same life issues, the same problems. We experience the same upheavals. Therefore, the main issues that come to me are people who are dealing with their emotional or their
Hmm.
relationship issues. In fact, during the lockdown, it was very funny because um, people were trapped 24 by 7 with people they disliked. And so
Ah,
they either tried to get rid of them or they got quite fond of them. So, Bitupen, something I have discovered is love is central to our sufferings. And,
oh,
the finding of it or the lack of it.
okay.
And some are, desperate to find love. Some are desperate to get rid of their love and live alone. The young are desperate to grow up. The older people are desperate to look young. I truly believe that the human race is actually a rat race, and we are running an obstacle race of our own creation.
Acha.
So it's very interesting, the
Hmm.
lockdown experience. Yes,
Acha, right. So again, since you are a life coach, I should definitely ask you this question. And I think this question will help everybody, whoever is listening. What are two or three life skills that everybody should have to be successful in any field they want? These are like common three life skills that everybody should have. What are these three?
absolutely. So my experience has been three.
Okay.
Very important life skills. The first is resilience
Okay.
to handle everything that life throws at us. Number two is perseverance to
Hmm.
not give up when what life throws at us is not to our liking.
Yeah.
And the third is humor to deal with, whatever adversity comes our way with a little dose of humor, because humor ensures invincibility. So
Acha.
it's three things: resilience, perseverance, and humor.
Acha. Humor is like a very unique life skill that I have heard somebody say. And I heard one man saying, I forgot his name. He was also a life coach. He said that we should be always joyful in nature, because if we want to attract good things also in our life, then our nature should be joyful. It should not be at some point we want to be joyful and then we choose that, oh, I want to be joyful today. It should be our everyday nature. And even in Bible, it seems it's written as be playful. I do not know because I haven't read it, but he said that.
You're very right, and he's very right.
Hmm,
And you must, remember, I was trained in journalism, in writing after
hmm,
I came back from the US after doing my master's in journalism. I was trained for 5 years
hmm.
under Mr. Khushwant Singh, who
Okay.
was a great humorist, and we wrote that
Hmm,
bestseller together.
right.
But he taught me that we should not take ourselves or life too seriously. So when
Hmm,
you do that, every action of yours becomes that of a detached humorist.
hmm,
These are just scenes that are being played out. We need not jump into the fray and get emotionally attached.
hmm.
And humor really, really, sort of centers you
Right,
and
right.
keeps you grounded.
Hmm, very true. Okay, so as you know that I have a book club which has got around 23,000 members as of now, and that group is growing. So before we started, we spoke that I'm going to put this clip on my book lovers group as well. So there are many people from that club who are listening to this. So do you have any message for those members of the club?
Wonderful. First of all, congratulations for encouraging reading.
Thank
All
you.
those who are reading, please remember, uh, we writers continue writing doggedly. Therefore, please continue reading. Hmm? Otherwise, we get very depressed, when the readership base shrinks. That and a special message for all those watching this show, especially the book lovers club. I've started the Invincible Talks show. It's being conducted from April to June, and it's a very powerful show where I bring on, each of these warriors one by one every Friday to talk about their journey and inspire people. So I have an offer to make, Pitupan.
Acha.
Anyone who wants to can please click their picture along with the book they order from Amazon. They can order I Am Invincible and post their picture on my Instagram handle. It is at Life Coach Neelam. If you can write that, at
I'll put
Life
that.
Coach Neelam.
So they have
Just
to tag
post
you.
that. Yes.
Hmm.
No, and they have to post it on my, yes. So it'll be, they post their picture along with the book, drop a review on Amazon, Goodreads, or wherever. And I will choose the lucky winners and I will invite them to that show, not with
Uh,
the warriors, separately, so that they
okay.
can talk about themselves and they can talk about the book and we can have a lovely conversation. So just make it fast because the show is only till June, April to June. So the three
Hmm.
steps are go to Amazon, buy the book, click a picture of yourself with the book, post it on live at Life Coach Neelam, drop a review on Amazon, and get selected
Get
to come
select.
on the show to
Mhm.
talk about yourself and my.
Mm. Awesome,
Thank you so
awesome.
much. Keep reading, keep reading.
Yes, yes, awesome. I think I'll definitely put this clip on the group so that
Mhm.
people can purchase your book and write a review, which is also important. Don't just click a
Very
picture and put
important.
yeah, right. Okay, and fine, ma'am. Then we can conclude this conversation. But before that, I have my last question to you, which I usually ask to almost all my guests, which is that if time machine was possible and if you can go back in time and meet yourself when you were like 20 years old, now you're a life coach, so what life lesson would you give to yourself as a 20-year-old?
Wouldn't it be lovely to become 20 again, to become that naive, pretty 20-year-old?
Right.
So while I want to become as pretty as that young girl, I do not. I do not think that lost youth is lost youth. I see it as gained wisdom. So, as to your question, what would I say to that innocent 20-year-old? So, you'll have to hear me out because I will say, dear girl, wake up. Stop reading your Mills and Bones. Start reading some horrors and thrillers because the road ahead, there's stormy weather ahead, and the road ahead is really going to be very bumpy. There will be
Hmm.
deep potholes and there will be sky high speed breakers. There will be sharp U turns and there will be accidents. And during one of these accidents, my innocent girl, you will lose the man you love and the man who is crazy about you right now. And he will be snatched by the jaws of death, and you will be left alone with your two little children. So, when darkness descends, before that, now is the time to build a strong inner core because when darkness descends and you cannot see the road ahead, you cannot navigate your path anymore. Just wipe your tears and remember to find the strength to carve your own path. And that's the time you should become the architect and the script writer of your own destiny. I love you, little girl. Grow up and see you on the other side.
Awesome, awesome. That's so nice. Wow, that's really nice, ma'am. Thank you so much for such nice lines.
Straight from the heart.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, then that was my last question, ma'am. And it was really nice talking to you. Thank you so much for taking out some time. And people will definitely, they should buy your book. I'll put a link of the book in the conversation below. And thank you for all the wisdom, ma'am. Namaste, ma'am.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
My
Bless
pleasure,
you.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye bye.